Now this is the brand new Maserati GranTurismo Trofeo, currently the most powerful model, most powerful variation on the market until a little bit later when the Folgorid comes onto the market. Now this beautiful piece of art, this beautiful piece of machinery, if you ask me, is one of the most magnificent modern Maseratis that I have ever seen. Now under the bonnet sits a 3-liter V6, and it is a V6, not a V8 like they used to be in the late 2000s, 2007 when they came out. Under the bonnet sits a 3-liter V6 producing around 542 to 550 brake horsepower. Its top speed is a massive 320 kilometers an hour, and 0 to 100 will take just 3.5 seconds. It's an all-wheel drive, and of course it has the 8-speed automatic gearbox. Now, if you ask me, just as I said, it is a piece of automotive art. The way it looks on the outside is simply magnificent. To the interior, it has great improvements as well. Maserati have been somewhat dated compared to the competition in previous years. However, with the Grecale about a year and a half, 2 years ago, they kind of modernized the interior, and that has now filtered through to the GranTurismo. Now, without further ado, let's have a look around the car, let's have a look inside the car, and most importantly, let's drive this piece of magnificent automotive machinery. Well, here we are. Without further ado, let's start the Maserati GranTurismo Trofeo GoPro Tour, which is one of the best tours that I like because it gives us an idea of what the car looks like. To the front, you've got this fantastic imposing grille, very modern kind of Maserati with the headlights, the grille over here, the kind of front diffuser, the air vents to the sides, looking beautiful. This blue color is absolutely fantastic if you ask me. Let's get to these, the tires, the alloys. These are Goodyears. Look at the tires. They are beautifully done, black washed with red calipers. And I've got the Trident upright as it should be. You got the Trofeo here. And of course, this means a lot because this is, if this is blue, it means it's a hybrid. I believe black means Trofeo. That would make sense. Let me show you the silhouette. This kind of curve that you have, and that curve, once you're driving it, you kind of see it from the driver's cockpit. It just looks absolutely beautiful. There we go. Let me show you the rear, the quad exhaust, and the diffuser over there. Clearly, beautifully drawn. Like I say, I think this is one of my favorite modern day Maseratis. It's absolutely beautifully put together. Now we're gonna go to the interior. Now when I first got the car, I wasn't quite sure because, you know, I thought, wow, this red is a bit over the top, but it has grown on me. You've got the Sonus Faber Artisan of Sound SF, Sonus Faber, I beg your pardon, over here. The doors are opened like this with a button, and then they kind of pop out. And of course you can manually open them from here. This red, it has really grown on me. This is of course a GT. You've got the rear seats over here, good enough for kids up to, let's say, 5 years old, but still meticulously put together. No detail has been spared in the back seats that won't be used as much as the front, but they're right here. You got your micro and normal kind of USB. You've even got a air condition vent over there. These are fully automatic, of course. Maserati since 1914. Beautiful interiors, absolutely beautiful interiors. I mean, they have really done well by modernizing the interior, and I'm going to show you more of that as we go inside the car, because this was something they were lacking. They were falling behind the competition, and with the new interior, they've really done a great job. Let's go in, shall we? But before that, I want to show you something. Let's turn this car on. It's getting to about 40 odd degrees at the moment, well 38. Unlike many sports cars, this one, as a matter of fact, you can rev it up all the way up to 6,000, which sounds beautiful. Beautifully done. Fantastic steering wheel. Let's close that up. benefit from the AC, but also hear ourselves better. Beautiful steering wheel, start stop drive modes. You've got Comfort, GT, Sport, Corsa. Whatever drive mode you get will kind of mirror here onto the beautiful new 12-odd inch center console, followed by an 8-inch console at the bottom. Of course, we first saw this with the Grecale about 2 years ago. The unmistakable Maserati watch right in the middle. The cabin has been put together beautifully. I really, really like it. And this is what I was talking about. When you're driving, you see these little kind of curvature of the car go down. It just kind of reminds me of the TVRs of the mid-90s. I don't know whatever happened to that brand, but those were some beautiful cars. And here is the beautiful interior of the magnificent GranTurismo, the Trofeo, of course. Beautiful details there. Some more there. Fantastic. I think it's time to go for a drive. Well, to say the least, the Maserati GranTurismo Trofeo is a stunning, stunning car, inside and out. And despite the V6 engine, and I say despite because when these things first came out in 2007, they had V8s. And I use that word very carefully. Despite the V6 engine, the engine noise is simply fantastic. Now, let me drop the gear a little bit. It is just magnificently vocal, this engine, very butch. Not something you'd expect from a V6, but I guess that's what happens when engineers, the V6, and the fantastic exhaust come together, no doubt. However, it's kind of what they've done inside the car that I am particularly impressed about. First of all, the center console has gone through that much needed updating. We first saw this at the Grecale about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and now this digital kind of center console has arrived in the GranTurismo. So you've got the digital kind of gauges in front that you can configure every which way, and then you've got two digital screens about 12 and 8 inches right over here. At the top, your infotainment, your GPS, that kind of thing, and over here with all your other particulars, including the AC. Now, when it comes to handling, this is quite a heavy car, yet it's a very balanced car. You can really feel that it's a big GT. However, it's very balanced. It's very kind of nimble and light, and it's just a complete pleasure to drive. And not to mention, it's a looker and a half from the outside. And the interior, the kind of bright red interior that I have here, is also fantastically magnificent, if I may say so. Now let's take it up here into the straight and let's see how it performs from low revs to higher revs and beyond. And of course, the flappy paddles are fantastic. People will have a few comments about these gear shifter, the gear changes that happen by pressing buttons. Many, check that out. Fantastic performance on that slight uphill. And between gears, kind of the performance is just as impressive. The gearbox, no, that's too high. Now we can do it. Just listen to that magnificent downshift that you get. And then once you kind of, whoa! Now you gotta be at 4,500 RPM in order to downshift over there. Let's crank that AC up a little bit. Just generally, it's a fantastic cabin to be in. Visibility is very, very good, whether it's from the center mirror or the side mirrors. There's an abundance of space, lots of space in here. It's a pleasant, premium cabin. It's something, if you ask me, Maserati has been lacking for a very, very long time, that they had to upgrade their interior, and they've finally done it. and they've kind of, made their engines a little bit better with that V6. You get the performance of the V8, the sound of the V8, yet the car is lighter and nimbler due to the weight saving that has gone on because of the smaller engine over here. Now, the official figures state that 0 to 100 will take just 3.5 seconds, and in order to test that, I'm going to put it onto Corsa mode. Left foot on the brake, right foot over here. Oh, there we go! Oh, that's 100 with a blink of an eye. Well, let's try that again, shall we? Wow. Now at the GranTurismo, you've got 4 drive modes, and they are Comfort, GT, Sport, and Corsa. And they kind of go, Comfort is quite comfortable, as it says on the tin. GT is for longer drives, you still get the performance, yet it's still kind of gentle gear shifts. Then you get into Sports, where the suspension firms up, and then it's more performance oriented, and Corsa of course leaves some of the driver aids quite loose, let's say, in order to give you that better performance. But all in all, they're great drive modes. You can see the difference quite distinctly. Of course, with the Corsa, you should be a rather good driver in order to engage. Now, when it comes to driving this car, let's be honest, with the V6, 500 brake horsepower, and the kind of weight that it carries, you're not going to beat any of the big boys around the Nürburgring. But then again, that's not what this car is meant for. This is a luxury GT car, beautifully crafted on the outside, wonderfully upgraded in the inside. So when you put those things together, beautiful exterior lines, fantastic interior with the upgraded kind of, drive computer. I call it a drive computer because I'm a little bit old, so the infotainment system, it all kind of comes together. Performance is just right. Yes, you do have, even in Corsa, and I'll demonstrate that for you, even in Corsa, you see the turbo lag is somewhat obvious, but then again, it's not the end of the world. It's performance is still rather good. Another slight, I'd say, constructive criticism might be the rather spongy brakes that it has. But then again, you're not really trying to break any records around any tracks, so that's also quite negligible. The speed in between gears, that's actually quite good. So let me try and demonstrate. So for example, second gear. So once you got your revs quite high up, then the turbo lag isn't there anymore, and the car kind of moves at a much more fierce speed, and it is rather nice to drive. But all around, luxurious, beautiful lines, great engine, a looker and a half, and you've got the Trident, the Maserati badge, so nothing to complain about there. If anything, I would gladly own this, be a proud owner of this beautiful Trofeo.